Alright, YouTube, here is another video of this computer, Dell Inspiron 14 2-in-1 with the AMD Ryzen 5 8000 processor. And in this video, we're going to be upgrading it to 32 gigs of RAM, 5600 SODIMM Kick CL46 notebook RAM, 1.1 volts. So I bought this upgrade RAM module in Best Buy at the time. I think it cost me about $80 on sale from like 100 and something, or $100, but you can probably find it online for less or a different brand. Just make sure if you're replacing RAM on this computer to get the 5600 SODIMMs, because that's the fastest that this computer will support. And it supports up to, I think it was 256 gigabytes of RAM, but you really don't need that much. You'll have to be running a server, but I don't even know why you want to run a server on this little computer. But I believe 32 gigabytes is enough for anybody in this world with a laptop. Unless you're doing like, I don't know, like AI stuff or really intensive that requires 64 gigs and above. I know 90% of us 16 gigabytes would be more than enough, and 9% of us 32 gigabytes will be enough, and 1% of us 64 and higher. But anyways, let's get this computer opened and we're going to install the RAM, and we can take a look of the internals of this computer. But so far this RAM looks like it's good. So as you can see, the back of the computer, we have the huge cooling vent right there. Speakers firing down, which I hate that from the computer from using it now. And you can see that it has a four-sided screw. I'm going to be opening it with a watchmaker screw, but be careful if you're not using a four-sided screw. With a two-sided one, you can probably, or a screwdriver, you can probably strip it. And that's the last thing we want to do, is have strip screws on the computer, because then you'll have to drill it out. But it looks like the screws, do they come out? Let's see, just for that click there. I think they're not the ones that come out. Huh. I guess not. Okay. Well, we're going to be opening all of these, and I will be back after I depressurize it and I have the back out. As you can see, I removed all the screws, or untightened all the screws except for this one. But it looks like they do come out, and it looks like they are they the same size? Looks like they are the same size a little bit. Yeah. So we're gonna open this and then we're gonna look inside. So give me just a second to open it up. Alright guys, I was able to remove the screws. I had to use a regular Phillips head screwdriver because the watchmaker screwdriver wasn't working correctly and I didn't want to strip it. So we have the back off. Be careful not to lose the little screws because they will come out. It's not integrated with the back. As you can see, some of them came out and I was able to save a couple of them. So let's take a look at the computer itself. We'll wonder why there's dirt here. It hasn't been even opened until now. But as you can see, it has the cooling fan, the heat sink, the processor, and the whole iGPU is in there. Wi-Fi card. Here's the RAM. Currently, it's populated with one RAM slot, I believe. Yeah, and you got one remaining. It even tells you how to put the RAM in and how to take it out. So let's remove this RAM out. Let's see what it has, or what brand it has in here. I think it's a Dell brand, or maybe Samsung, or Linux, or Hynix, sorry. Samsung, yeah, see, Samsung. This is one rank 16X PC 5600 8GB module. So I believe this does support dual rank. So let's put on our new 32 gig 16 each and put it back together and power it on. Oh, and as you can see, here is the SSD. I believe that's an adapter for it, or it could be a heatsink. So it does support a full length SSD, but it comes with this adapter, I guess, so you could pressure it down. It even tells you here how to take it out and on, off and on. Sorry. And that's basically the computer. There isn't that much to it, as you can see. I guess the battery, and then we got this. That's pretty interesting. I've never seen a battery like this. It's like 2 batteries. And then we got an extra slot here for, I guess you can plug something in there. That's pretty strange. We got more plugs in here that are not populated. But it's a very simple back. I mean, it'll be easy for repairs during along the road, because you can just easily boom, boom, out, and then slap it back together again. You know, a lot of laptops, they got to take the whole back off and then pry off the keyboard, go in the front. This one looks like it's all accessible there, and you have even extra connections that aren't even populated by anything. I wonder what you can put on there, like put a ribbon cable on there. But yeah, let's put the RAM in there. We're gonna be using Crucial. Sorry, Samsung. We're not gonna be using you. We're gonna be using Crucial since it's a good price. So let's open this bad boy up. And we're gonna take a look at these modules. And remember to ground yourself. I know I'm not grounding myself, but yeah. And the modules here, Crucial, 16GB DDR5, 5600, 1.1 volts CL46. And these are actually, let me see how this looks compared to the Samsung RAM. I guess it's very different. So this is what, 2468, 2468, 2468, 16 gigs. So let's put it on. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna go in first, and then down. And you hear both of the teeth click in there. And I guess we can look in there, and you can see that it's all the way seated in. So let's grab our other module here, our other 16 gig, 32 gig, 16 gig, 5600 megahertz DDR5 RAM. And we're going to install this on the other side. Since the other side was backwards, this side will be forward. So all you do is just push it down, and you'll hear it click in place. I think that needs a little bit more pressure. So let me lift it up and push it in a little more and down. And you can see both of the teeth are in the little notch there. Make sure that both of them are correctly notched, and they are. So then let's put this bad boy back together again and boot it up. So I will screw it back down, and then we'll go from there. So as you can see, I'm screwing down the bolts back on here. You can see there's still a little pressure that needs to be applied, but eventually it will screw down. I like to make it not too tight so I can open it easier in the future if I need to change thermal paste out. But yeah, we'll be back after the remaining bolts are in. We only got 2 remaining to go. All right, all the bolts are in. The strange thing about this computer is that these 3 bolts do not come off. They have the clips on them to prevent them from coming out. And these bolts here come out. So we have 3 non-removable ones, and 1, 2, 3, 4 removable ones. That's pretty strange. And also when you're removing the back cover, when you start to unscrew them, you hear like a plack, like click, like if it's breaking or something. That's just depressurizing the clips to come out. Nothing's broken, as you can see. Everything's still perfect condition. So let's turn this on and look in our BIOS and open up CPU Z. and look if they're running on dual channel or dual rank or whatever frequency you want to look at. So let's do that right now. So the moment of truth, let's turn it on and see what we get. I connected the cell phone charger on it so you can access BIOS easier, or BIOS, whatever you want to call it. So it'll give us an error right now, and then we'll select BIOS setup. First boot with 32 gigs of RAM. There we go. So of course I did that on purpose so we can access BIOS easier this way. So go to BIOS setup, and we're going to be going and looking here. As you can see, system memory, 32 gigs of RAM, memory speed running at 5600 megahertz. So it's running at as fast as possible, and that's the fastest possible RAM this computer supports. The actual chipset and the actual motherboard might support 7600, but that's LPDDR5X. I believe you can go up to 6400 with regular DDR5, not DDR4, DDR5, but this particular model of the computer supports only 5600. So you can see it's running at 5600, 20 watt adapter. Let's see if we can look at anything else here. We can change the graphics. Let's see if we can. Give me just a second. Alright, looks like the BIOS does not let us do that, so let's just boot up to Windows. We're going to continue, and we will see on Task Manager and CPU Z if it's running on dual channel or dual rank or single channel or single rank. So we're gonna wait for it to boot. I guess first time boot with a new set of RAM installed takes a little bit longer. So let's go on it. Oh, that was a lot faster than before. And like I said, the only bad thing about this computer is the screen is really bad. Before we look at the whole task manager, is too low to support express charge. Okay, so the one we took out is one rank. We're gonna look at our task manager here. Oh, okay, well, I guess 20 watts is enough. So let's open up task manager. Let's go to our performance bar. As you can see, we have a Ryzen CPU. Our memory, we have 32 gigs of RAM, 5600, 2 slots of 2 U SODIMM, how much it's being used, how much is available. Now our graphics processor is very important because your graphics on Radeon graphics or AMD Ryzen graphics are gonna depend on how fast your RAM is. And right now it has a dedicated of 384. I don't know how much of dedicated we had before in my old video when I first booted this up, and we have 15.7 of shared memory. So it has basically 16 gigs of shared memory and 16 gigs I guess for the OS, so when you're playing games you will not run out of RAM. What is this? NPU compute accelerator. I don't even know what that is. If you guys know what that is, let me know. So if I guess that's the APU RAM, 15.7 gigabytes free. So let's take a look at CPU Z. I actually got to download it. So let me do that real quick, and then we will go from there. So yeah, CPU Z downloading. So we're going to open this up in a minute once it's finished. Alright, so CPU Z is finished downloading. It's right here. Let's open it up. Yes. So this is going to tell us about the RAM. Okay, so AMD Ryzen 5 8640HS Hawk Point. Oh wow, Hawk Point. Max TDP on this chip, it's set to 20 watts, I think. Is that because of the charger set to 20 watts? What if I... Let's disconnect the 20 watt charger and put in the 65 watt. Maybe that'll improve it. So let's cancel that. Reopen it again. Yes on that. No, so 20 watts is the max TDP. Okay, so Hawk Point AMD Ryzen 5 4 nanometers, 1.4 volts. Okay, so supports all these instructions, the core speed. So we're gonna go look at the memory. Ooh, so it's quad channel at 32 bits. I've never seen that before. That's crazy. So people are saying go to SPD. We're gonna go to SPD. DDR5 5600 Micron technology, eBay, 16 gigabytes each module, 50/40, and I guess it is counted as quad channel. You got 1 2 3 4. That's crazy, and they're all at 1.1 volts each. That's in slot 2. Okay. So that's pretty cool right there. Let's take a look at our graphics here. AMD Radeon, it doesn't even tell us, just 512 megabytes of RAM. And it's 4X. Okay, so I've never even seen that before. Wow, okay, well, guys, there is your answer to this. And yes, it does support 32 gigs up to 256 gigs of RAM. We have 32 gigs, 5600 megahertz, DDR5, and as you can see, it's running at four times, or 4 channels. Well, it might make sense since each DDR5 module is kind of dual channel. 2 will make it quad channel. I don't even know how that works. If you guys know about it, please let me know. But yeah, that's crazy. And as you noticed in my other video of me unboxing this thing, you see how I'm going through things faster, and it's a lot easier to do it because I would say the new RAM installation made a huge difference on this computer. I'm gonna download 3D Mark and do all updates on it, and then I might post a video on how everything runs and what 3D score I get on 3D Mark. I want to test out that Ryzen GPU, but so far so good. Well guys, yeah, if you have any questions about this computer, about the RAM upgrade, let me know. Comment, subscribe. So far so good. If you want me to test the game on it, I will. I'm gonna start downloading Steam, Origin, PUBG, and all these other games for it. So we'll see how much this computer can game. And remember, I got this for $399, so it taxes $430, about there, $426, $430. On Best Buy right now, I think costs, at the time of this video, costs $750. But I would just say wait for the sale, and you'll be able to get a badass computer. You just got to spend at least $90 on the RAM, or you can just buy one 8 gig stick and just use that as 16 gigs, and that'll do just fine since it's already pre-installed with 8 gigs of RAM. All you'll need to do is find a Samsung RAM, so this exact module but one more. And since RAM is cheap, you can find it probably like at 20 bucks. But yeah guys, this is the RAM upgrade. If you have any other questions, comment, let me know, and I will try to answer them. Okay, glad this upgrade was smooth. Have a good day.